So Gina Carano, I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. Let me know if I'm mistaken there. Was fired from the Mandalorian show series, which I think that was over, but they were making like a spin-off, and it was rumored that she was going to be a part of that. That's no more. She was fired after some very transphobic things she posted on her Twitter, along with some very disgusting and offensive anti-Semitic post, I believe, on her Instagram. But then there's, people like Ben Shapiro and Gina herself are saying, well, that's not actually why she was fired. She's fired for being a conservative, which obviously is completely missing the point, because there's tons of people in Hollywood who are conservative and have had long careers and success. I guess Chris Pratt is highly conservative, highly religious himself, but to my knowledge, he hasn't been posting transphobic or anti-Semitic stuff on his, social media platforms, but Gina Carano has, and as a result, she's facing the consequences. So I don't see this as cancel culture, not in any sense, but actually of somebody facing consequences for their really abhorrent, disgusting, and inexcusable actions. Frankly, I don't know how you could view it any other way if you're looking at this through any type of objective lens whatsoever. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Carano wrote beep, bop, boop in her Twitter bio, indicating a disdain towards the trans community, which tends to add pronouns in their social media bios. Twitter community immediately denounced the move, calling her statement transphobic. Again, it definitely seemed like it was, making fun of the trans community, completely dismissing this very, humane and easy thing to do by putting your pronouns in your bio. And I mean, if it wasn't to disparage the trans community, what was the real reason for doing that? And it says she didn't stop there. This time she went on to compare the political climate in the U.S. to the time of the Holocaust. According to entertainment website Deadline, she had initially posted a picture of a half-naked woman on Instagram being chased down the street during the Holocaust. And this is what she said, or this is what the caption said. Jews were beaten in the streets not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Or I guess she did write this, Carano wrote. Because the history is edited, most people don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political beliefs? I mean, Jesus Christ, she's considering when people are held accountable, whether it be celebrities, politicians, whoever, for really abhorrent and disgusting behavior, like being transphobic, like posting that disgusting anti-Semitic Instagram post, Instagram story. She's saying that is similar to the Jews being persecuted by the fucking Nazis. I mean, during the Holocaust. I mean, gee, what the fuck is wrong with somebody to make that comparison? I mean, she's just being held accountable for these really disgusting and despicable things she's done. And I frankly, we need to see more of that with people in these positions of, massive power and influence like she has. Lucasfilm, a unit at Walt Disney, said the company had no plans to hire in the future. Good on them. Maybe it would teach more people from coming out and displaying, hateful and bigoted behavior, because that's all this is. Again, it has nothing to do with her being conservative and everything to do with this disgusting behavior, this transphobic and anti-Semitic behavior that she's displayed on her social media platforms. Her social media posts denigrating a people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable, a statement I completely agree. Her transphobic statements were no less deplorable. They're mad because I won't put pronouns in my bio to show my support for trans life, she tweeted. I decided to put 3 very controversial words in my bio. Beep, bop, boop. I'm not against trans lives at all. They need to find less abusive representation. So she's not against trans lives. She's not, against the trans community, trans people, within the U.S. or abroad. Then why put this in your profile? I mean, it's definitely seems like a very intentional way to try to piss people off by making fun of people being respectful and accommodating by putting their pronouns in their bio. Not a big fucking deal. No reason to get all transphobic and disgusting with it, Gina. And then she's trying to completely deny any responsibility for her actions here. Beep Bop Boop has zero to do with mocking trans people and everything to do with exposing the bullying mentality of the mob that has taken over the voices of many genuine causes, Gina said. Gina later said, I want people to know you can hate me with a smile, so boop you for misunderstanding. And then, so kind of the Mandalorian character on the Mandalorian, miniseries on Disney Plus. The star of that, Pedro Pascal, his sister recently came out, as trans. On Tuesday, Pedro Pascal shared the latest cover of Chile's Ya magazine, which spotlights his younger sister after she publicly came out. Critics called on Disney to fire Carano for her statements to show support to its LGBTQI audience. Carano called her critics cowards and bullies instead of educators. This led to the start of the hashtag fire Gina Carano on Twitter. Her controversial tweets on political intolerance in the U.S. became the straw that broke the camel's back and ultimately got her fired. Talent agency UTA has also dropped her due to the controversy. Again, I don't see this as an example of cancel culture. I would say an example of cancel culture would be Nathan J. Robinson, more or less getting fired from, working at The Guardian or having a column there because he made a joke about how basically, the U.S., government, gives so much money to the Israeli government through, military contracts and whatnot. He was canceled over that, even after so I definitely think this is just an example of somebody, some really disgusting and abhorrent things, the transphobia, the anti-Semitism, being held accountable for those indefensible actions. So that was what she posted there, really disgusting, and trying to compare the Holocaust with people being held accountable for transphobic and anti-Semitic stuff. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Get the fuck out of here, Gina. It's disgusting. And so there's Shapiro. Hollywood cancel at Gina Carano for being conservative. That's bullshit. So we're fighting back. Become a DW Daily Wire member today with promo code Gina for 25% off and join Cultural Resistance. And this Parker Molly says, Molly. Chris Pratt, which I had mentioned earlier, is super conservative, yet Disney hasn't fired him for it. Gasp. I love how Ben's idea of fighting back is to line his own pockets. Stop smearing conservatives as Nazis. Person fired for minimizing the Holocaust. She was fired for being conservative. Exactly. And looks like another anti-Semitic thing she posted there on her Twitter. And so now she's set to do a movie with the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro's worthless right-wing outlet just spews capitalist and other crappy propaganda. So those are my thoughts. Definitely not shedding any tears or losing any sleep over Gina Carano losing her contract with Disney for being transphobic and anti-Semitic. Completely deserved. Those are my thoughts. Leave yours down below. Like the video if you like the damn video. Subscribe for more content. Peace. Much love. All power to the people.